Ever wonder what the difference between this and this is? On the left is spring water or drinking water. Very good, I tried it. On the right is distilled water from the same supplier. Distilled water tastes awful. What's the difference? I'm going to subtract the water from each and see what's left. I'm going to fill each dish with exactly half a gallon. Spring. Distilled. I'm going to remove all the water by evaporation. The hood is to prevent dust and so on from falling in. Let me turn off the fan. It looks dry. Finally, they dried out. Okay, that's the distilled remnants. It's looks not much more than like a dirty window. Those streaks there are actual lettering in the glass. Here's what's left over from the spring water. It's pretty impressive. It looks like a little salt flat. Here's a close-up of the spring water's aftermath. It looks like an airport from above. Here's the corner. Alright, there's all of it. Now I'll scrape off the spring water dish. Here's my scale. So let's compensate for the dish and see what it weighs. .002 grams. That's a few parts in 1,000. It's pretty accurate. First thing I want to do is weigh this little dish. 2.5 grams. Now we'll weigh the spring water with the dish. 25.08. Well, that's within the limits of the device, not by much. Let's weigh it. So the amount of solids left after distilling the spring water is 2.69 grams. That includes the dish. Here are the weights after subtracting for the dish, then doubling the amounts to make it on a per gallon basis. The distilled water left behind 0.016 grams of solid. Spring water left behind 0.38 grams. Total 0.4. That means that Ozark's distillation process removed 95% of all solids. So what's in all that white powder that we distilled from Ozark's drinking water? I tried to find a lab that's willing to just do mineral analysis of water. Couldn't find one. Can't even find a DIY test. But in the case of bottled drinking water in the US, this is pretty much the composition. Lots of good minerals like sodium and potassium, electrolytes. They allow us to move and think. Also zinc and magnesium, very powerful agents. They fix all kinds of stuff. Then the usual iron and calcium. I can tell you this, it tasted kind of salty. The real question is, what is in that really yellow, tiny remnant that we distilled out of Ozark's distilled water? I don't think it's minerals. I'm calling it very soluble, non-mineral solids. Until I can find a reliable way of testing water for minerals, I'm hanging on to this.